Good morning, everyone. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why do I do what I do? Why do we wake up every morning, chase goals, or sometimes feel stuck in patterns we can't seem to break? Let me tell you something, understanding this one question can transform your life. We all have a driving force, a reason behind every action we take, whether we're conscious of it or not. That force is what gives meaning to our existence. And it's not random, it's deeply rooted in our needs, our beliefs, and the emotions we attach to them. At the core, we're all chasing one thing: fulfillment. Not just happiness, because happiness can be fleeting. Fulfillment, on the other hand, comes from growth, contribution, and living in alignment with what truly matters to us. But here's the catch: most of us are running on autopilot. We're reacting to life instead of creating it. We let fear, doubt, or the expectations of others dictate our choices. Let me ask you this. Every action we take, every decision we make, is fueled by an underlying driving force. This force is not arbitrary, it is deeply connected to our inner needs, beliefs, and the emotions we associate with them. While it may seem that our actions are shaped by external circumstances, the truth is that our responses to these situations are dictated by what lies within us. At the core of our existence, we are all driven by the desire for fulfillment. It is not just about fleeting happiness or temporary satisfaction. It is about achieving a state where our actions align with our deepest values and purpose. Fulfillment is the feeling that what we do matters, that our life has significance, and that we are growing and contributing in ways that resonate with our true selves. However, many of us rarely pause to explore the true motivations behind our actions. Instead, we operate on autopilot, following routines, meeting expectations, or chasing goals that may not even be our own. This is often a result of conditioning, what we've been taught to believe will bring us success, acceptance, or love. But when we align our actions with external pressures rather than internal truths, we often find ourselves feeling empty or unfulfilled, even after achieving what we thought we wanted. The driving force within us stems from a combination of our basic human needs and our personal beliefs about what those needs mean. Every person seeks to meet certain universal needs such as security, love, connection, and growth. Yet, the way we prioritize and fulfill these needs varies greatly from one person to another. For some, the need for certainty and stability might drive them to seek safe and predictable paths, while others might prioritize adventure and change, drawn by the need for variety and excitement. Our beliefs play a critical role in shaping how we pursue these needs. Beliefs are the filters through which we interpret the world. They define what we think is possible, what we think we deserve, and what actions we believe are necessary to achieve our goals. These beliefs, often formed during childhood or through life experiences, can either empower us or limit us. A person who believes they are capable and deserving will approach challenges with confidence, while someone who doubts their worth may hesitate, holding themselves back from opportunities. Another key element of the driving force is the emotional significance we attach to our actions. Emotions are the fuel of human behavior. When we associate strong, positive emotions with an action or outcome, we are motivated to pursue it. Conversely, if we link negative emotions to a particular situation, we are driven to avoid it. This emotional association can explain why two people respond differently to the same circumstance. One may see a challenge as an opportunity for growth, while the other perceives it as a threat. Understanding this driving force requires us to step back and reflect on our motivations. By identifying our true needs, questioning our beliefs, and examining the emotions tied to our actions, we can take conscious control of our lives. When we harness this inner force, aligning it with our values and purpose, we unlock the potential to create a life of genuine fulfillment and meaning. Many of us go through life on autopilot, following routines and patterns without fully understanding why. This state of living often feels safe and familiar, but it also robs us of the opportunity to live intentionally and meaningfully. When we operate on autopilot, we're not truly in control. Instead, our decisions are dictated by habits, social conditioning, and the expectations of others. Autopilot living begins innocently enough. We develop routines to manage the complexities of life, to save time and energy on mundane tasks. But over time, these routines can expand into larger aspects of our lives, from the careers we choose to the relationships we maintain. Rather than actively questioning or reevaluating our choices, we stick to what feels comfortable or predictable. This can lead to a sense of stagnation or dissatisfaction, as we may find ourselves pursuing goals that don't truly align with our values or passions. One of the primary reasons we fall into autopilot is fear. Change can be daunting and uncertain even more so. The mind seeks familiarity because it perceives it as safe. As a result, we resist stepping out of our comfort zones, even when staying there limits our growth and happiness. Over time, this fear-driven behavior creates a cycle where we continue to make decisions based on avoiding discomfort rather than pursuing fulfillment. Social conditioning also plays a significant role. From a young age, we are taught certain norms and expectations about how life should be lived. These messages come from family, education, culture, and society at large. We internalize these ideas, often without questioning their validity or relevance to our personal aspirations. For instance, many people pursue careers, relationships, or lifestyles not because they truly desire them, but because they believe they should. Living in alignment with external expectations rather than internal desires perpetuates a state of disconnection from our true selves. The danger of autopilot is that it disconnects us from the present moment. When we're not fully aware or engaged, we miss the richness of life, the small joys, the opportunities for growth, and the deeper connections with others. We become so focused on getting through the day or achieving the next milestone that we forget to actually live. This disconnection can lead to feelings of emptiness or unfulfillment, even when we appear successful by external standards. Breaking free from autopilot requires a deliberate shift in mindset and action. It starts with self-awareness, taking time to reflect on your current choices, habits, and goals. Ask yourself, are these decisions truly mine? Do they align with what I value most? Awareness is the first step toward reclaiming control of your life. Next, embrace discomfort as a catalyst for growth. Growth doesn't happen in the safety of the comfort zone. It happens when you challenge yourself, take risks, and face uncertainty with courage. It's about making conscious choices that align with your values and long-term vision, even when they require effort or change. Finally, reconnect with the present moment. Engage fully in your experiences, whether big or small. By paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings, you awaken to life's possibilities and regain the power to shape your own path. Transitioning from autopilot to intentional living opens the door to a life of purpose, connection, and true fulfillment. Pain and pleasure are the twin forces that drive every decision we make. These two fundamental motivators are deeply embedded in human nature, influencing our behaviors, thoughts, and emotions. At the core, every action we take is an attempt to avoid pain or gain pleasure. Understanding this dynamic can unlock profound insights into why we do what we do and how we can take control of our lives. Pain is often perceived as something negative, something to be avoided at all costs. This instinct comes from our survival-driven biology in the past. Avoiding pain often meant staying alive. Even today, pain serves as a signal to our brain that something is wrong, prompting us to take action. Whether it's physical discomfort, emotional distress, or fear of failure, pain pushes us to make changes. For instance, the pain of poor health might motivate someone to adopt healthier habits, or the pain of loneliness could drive a person to seek meaningful relationships. Pleasure, on the other hand, is what draws us forward. It represents rewards, satisfaction, and the fulfillment of our desires. Whether it's the joy of achieving a goal, the warmth of love, or the thrill of adventure, pleasure inspires us to act. It provides the why behind our ambitions and dreams, serving as the carrot that complements pain's stick. However, The relationship between pain and pleasure is not always straightforward. People respond to these motivators differently based on their experiences, beliefs, and emotional conditioning. For instance, one person may see public speaking as a source of immense pain, fearing judgment and rejection, while another views it as an opportunity to gain recognition and fulfillment. The event itself is neutral. It is the meaning we attach to it that determines whether it motivates us to act or hold back. This subjective nature of pain and pleasure highlights an important truth: we have the power to reshape our motivations. By consciously reframing how we perceive pain and pleasure, we can change our behaviors and outcomes. For example, if the thought of exercising feels painful, focusing on the pleasure of increased energy, better health, and confidence can create a positive association, making it easier to adopt the habit. The key lies in understanding how these forces operate in our lives. Many people let pain and pleasure control them unconsciously, reacting to situations rather than responding with intention. This often leads to short-term gratification at the expense of long-term fulfillment. Eating junk food, procrastinating, or avoiding difficult conversations may provide immediate pleasure or help dodge pain, but they often lead to greater discomfort down the road. To harness these motivators effectively, it's essential to align them with your goals and values. Start by identifying what you truly want and the pain and pleasure associated with achieving or neglecting it. Then consciously amplify the pain of inaction and the pleasure of success in your mind. Visualization, affirmations, and creating compelling why statements can help reinforce this alignment. Ultimately, pain and pleasure are not just forces to react to, but tools to master. When you use them consciously, you can break free from limiting patterns, make empowered choices, and design a life driven by purpose rather than fear or impulse. By learning to navigate this duality, you unlock the ability to create lasting change and live a life of greater fulfillment. Human behavior is driven by two fundamental forces: the desire to avoid pain and the pursuit of pleasure. These motivators, deeply ingrained in our psychology, influence every decision we make, often without us even realizing it. Whether it's a small, everyday choice or a significant life decision, the interplay of pain and pleasure shapes our actions and ultimately determines the quality of our lives. Pain is a powerful motivator. It signals to us that something is wrong or out of alignment, demanding our attention and action. This instinct has roots in survival in our evolutionary past. Avoiding pain often meant staying alive. Today, pain still serves as a critical signal, whether it's physical discomfort warning us of harm, emotional pain urging us to address relationships, or mental strain highlighting areas of imbalance. The discomfort of financial stress, for instance, might drive someone to work harder or seek new opportunities, while the pain of feeling unfulfilled could inspire a person to make transformative life changes. On the other hand, pleasure is what pulls us forward. It represents reward, satisfaction, and the fulfillment of desires. From the joy of achieving a goal to the comfort of a warm connection with loved ones, pleasure gives us a sense of purpose and accomplishment. It acts as the carrot to pain's stick, providing motivation to strive, grow, and seek experiences that enrich our lives. A person might work tirelessly toward a promotion, not only to escape the pain of financial insecurity, but also to experience the pleasure of recognition and increased resources. However, the relationship between pain and pleasure is not always straightforward. What one person perceives as painful, another might view as pleasurable, depending on their experiences, beliefs, and emotional conditioning. For instance, public speaking might terrify one person due to the anticipated pain of judgment, while another thrives on the pleasure of connecting with an audience and sharing ideas. The way we interpret pain and pleasure, rather than the events themselves, ultimately dictates our response. This subjectivity highlights an important truth: we can consciously reframe our perceptions of pain and pleasure to drive better outcomes. For example, if the thought of starting a new habit like exercising feels painful, shifting focus to the pleasure of increased energy, better health, and enhanced self-confidence can transform the association. Similarly, amplifying the pain of inaction, such as imagining the consequences of poor health, can add urgency and motivation. One of the challenges people face is the tendency to prioritize short-term pleasure over long-term fulfillment. Eating unhealthy food, procrastinating on important tasks, or avoiding difficult conversations may provide immediate gratification or relief from discomfort, but often lead to greater pain in the future. To counter this, it's essential to focus on aligning our actions with long-term goals and values. By identifying what we truly want, understanding the pain of not achieving it, and associating it with the pleasure of success, we can consciously leverage these motivators to our advantage. When we master this dynamic, we are no longer at the mercy of unconscious reactions, but become intentional architects of our own lives. Pain and pleasure, when understood and harnessed effectively, are not just forces to contend with, but powerful tools to create meaningful, lasting change. We all carry stories within us, narratives we create about who we are, what we can achieve, and how the world works. These stories are powerful. They shape our perceptions, dictate our actions, and ultimately determine the quality of our lives. But here's the truth: the story you've been telling yourself is not set in stone. You have the power to change it, to rewrite your narrative, and to create a new chapter filled with purpose, growth, and fulfillment. Our stories often begin in childhood, influenced by our families, communities, and experiences. We interpret events through the lens of our limited understanding, forming beliefs about ourselves and the world. Perhaps you faced rejection early in life, and the story you created was, "I'm not good enough." Maybe you encountered failure and concluded, "I'll never succeed." These stories, repeated over time, become ingrained, shaping our identity and guiding our behavior. The problem is that many of these stories are not based on truth, but on fear, misunderstanding, or incomplete perspectives. They serve as filters, coloring how we see opportunities, challenges, and ourselves. If you believe you're unworthy, you'll hesitate to pursue what you desire. If your story says success is unattainable, you might not even try. These limiting narratives can trap us in cycles of doubt, fear, and inaction, holding us back from reaching our potential. Changing your story begins with awareness. Take a moment to reflect. What are the recurring thoughts and beliefs that define your narrative? Are they empowering or limiting? Often we're not even conscious of the stories we tell ourselves because they feel so familiar. By identifying these patterns, you take the first step toward reclaiming your power. Once you've identified your story, challenge its validity. Ask yourself, is this belief absolutely true? What evidence do I have to support it? And what evidence contradicts it? Often you'll find that your limiting story is built on assumptions or isolated experiences rather than facts. For instance, one failure doesn't mean you're incapable. It simply means you need a different approach. The next step is to consciously rewrite your story. Choose beliefs and narratives that empower you rather than hold you back. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," tell yourself, "I'm learning and growing every day." Replace "I'll never succeed" with "every step I take brings me closer to my goals." These new stories might feel unfamiliar at first, but with repetition and action, they will become your new reality. Changing your story also requires action. A narrative shift alone isn't enough. You must reinforce it through behavior. Take small, consistent steps that align with your new story. If you've decided to adopt a story of resilience, start by tackling challenges with determination. If your new story is about abundance, practice gratitude and generosity. Finally, surround yourself with people and environments that support your new narrative. Seek out those who inspire, uplift, and believe in your potential. Let their influence strengthen your belief in the story you're creating. Remember, you are the author of your life. The pen is in your hands. No matter where you've been or what you've believed, you have the power to write a new story, one that reflects your true potential, aligns with your values, and leads to the life you deserve. It's never too late to turn the page and begin again. Raising your standards is one of the most transformative decisions you can make. It's about defining what you are no longer willing to tolerate in your life and committing to a higher level of expectations for yourself. It's not just about setting goals, it's about changing your mindset, actions, and identity to align with a vision of a life you truly want. When you raise your standards, you elevate your entire life because your standards dictate the quality of your experiences, relationships, and achievements. At its core, raising standards starts with a decision. This decision comes from a place of dissatisfaction with the status quo, a recognition that you are capable of more, and a determination to demand better from yourself and the world around you. Perhaps you've tolerated mediocrity in your career, accepted unhealthy habits, or settled for unfulfilling relationships. To raise your standards means to declare, this is no longer acceptable, and to set a new baseline for what you expect in these areas. This process requires clarity. You must first identify what truly matters to you and where you want to raise your standards. Is it in your health, your finances, your relationships, or your personal growth? You can't change what you don't clearly define. Take time to reflect on the areas of your life that feel out of alignment with your potential or desires. Visualize what the highest version of yourself looks like in those areas and use that vision to set your new standard. Raising your standards is not just about words, it's about aligning your actions with your new expectations. It's easy to say, I want to be healthier, but what does that actually mean in practice? It could mean committing to a daily workout routine, choosing nutritious meals, or getting enough sleep. Similarly, if you decide to raise your standards in your relationships, it might mean setting boundaries, seeking deeper connections, or walking away from toxic dynamics. This commitment to action often requires discipline and consistency. Change isn't always comfortable, and raising your standards means stepping out of your comfort zone. You may face resistance both internally, in the form of self-doubt, and externally, from people who are accustomed to the old. This is where your determination and clarity become essential. When you're crystal clear about why you're raising your standards and committed to honoring your new baseline, you'll find the strength to persist. Another key aspect of raising your standards is changing your identity. To create lasting change, you must see yourself as someone who naturally lives at the level you're aspiring to reach. For example, instead of thinking, I want to be a fit person, start identifying as I am a fit and healthy person. When your identity aligns with your standards, your actions will naturally follow suit. Finally, raising your standards isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's a journey of continually challenging yourself to grow and evolve. Each time you raise your standards, you unlock new levels of potential and create a life that reflects your values and aspirations. It's a declaration to yourself and the world that you deserve the best and are willing to do what it takes to achieve it. True fulfillment in life comes not from what we achieve or acquire, but from what we give and how we contribute to the world around us. At the heart of human happiness is the desire to make a meaningful impact, to feel that our actions matter, and to know that we've left the world a little better than we found it. Contribution is the bridge between personal success and a life of significance. It connects our talents, resources, and passions with the needs of others, creating a sense of purpose and fulfillment that material possessions or individual accomplishments alone can never provide. When we focus solely on ourselves, on our goals, desires, and comforts, there's often a sense of emptiness, even after achieving what we set out to do. This is because true happiness doesn't come from what we take, but from what we give. Contribution allows us to transcend our individual concerns and connect with something greater than ourselves. It fulfills a fundamental human need to matter and to make a difference. The act of contributing can take many forms. It doesn't always require grand gestures or monumental sacrifices. Sometimes it's as simple as offering a kind word, helping a friend in need, or sharing your expertise with someone who could benefit from it. Other times, it may involve dedicating your time, energy, or resources to a cause you're passionate about. Whether large or small, every act of contribution creates a ripple effect that can touch lives in ways you may never fully realize. One of the most rewarding aspects of contribution is the sense of connection it fosters. When we give to others, we often feel more connected to them and to humanity as a whole. This connection helps combat feelings of isolation or loneliness, reminding us that we're part of a larger community. It reinforces the idea that our lives are intertwined and that our actions have the power to influence and uplift others. Contribution also has the power to redefine our perspective on challenges and hardships. When we use our struggles as a source of strength to help others, we find meaning in our pain. For instance, someone who has overcome adversity may feel a deep sense of purpose in mentoring others facing similar challenges. In this way, contribution not only benefits the recipient, but also brings healing and growth to the giver. What's remarkable about contribution is how it multiplies joy. While giving might initially seem like a sacrifice, it often brings far more satisfaction and fulfillment than we expect. This is because contributing aligns with our higher selves. It reminds us of our values, our capacity for kindness, and our ability to create positive change. Ultimately, fulfillment through contribution is about living a life of purpose and service. It's about shifting the focus from what can I get to what can I give, and recognizing that the greatest rewards come from lifting others. When we embrace contribution as a way of life, we not only enrich the lives of those we touch, but also find a deeper sense of meaning and happiness in our own. Challenging yourself is one of the most powerful ways to grow, transform, and unlock your potential. It's easy to fall into a routine where things feel comfortable and predictable, but staying in your comfort zone can quickly lead to stagnation. True progress happens when you step outside your familiar boundaries, confront your limitations, and push yourself to achieve what you once thought impossible. Challenging yourself isn't just about achieving external goals, it's about personal growth, self-discovery, and the development of resilience and strength. The first step in challenging yourself is recognizing that growth doesn't come from staying in your comfort zone. It comes from facing discomfort, uncertainty, and the unknown. When you push yourself beyond what feels safe and easy, you activate new levels of creativity, problem-solving, and determination. These experiences force you to think differently, adapt, and find solutions to challenges you may not have anticipated. Whether it's taking on a new project, learning a new skill, or pursuing a goal that intimidates you, each challenge you face becomes an opportunity to expand your capabilities and discover your true potential. One of the biggest barriers to challenging yourself is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of the unknown can hold you back from taking the necessary risks that lead to growth. But it's essential to realize that fear is a natural part of the process. It's a sign that you're stepping into new territory, and that's where real growth occurs. The key is not to let fear paralyze you, but to use it as fuel to move forward. When you face fear head-on and take action despite it, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Challenging yourself also means embracing failure as a valuable teacher. Failure isn't a sign that you're not capable, it's a sign that you're trying, learning, and evolving. Every time you fail, you gain insight into what works, what doesn't, and what needs to be adjusted. Failure provides the lessons and experience that success cannot teach. The most successful people in the world have failed countless times, but they view failure as part of the journey, not the end of the road. By reframing failure in this way, you empower yourself to keep moving forward, no matter the setbacks. Another crucial aspect of challenging yourself is setting goals that stretch your abilities. These goals should be ambitious yet achievable, and they should inspire you to push your limits. A goal that excites and scares you at the same time is a sign that you're on the right track. Whether your goal is to run a marathon, launch a business, or improve your relationships, the key is to commit fully to it, break it down into manageable steps, and work relentlessly toward it. Along the way, you'll learn new skills, develop perseverance, and discover strengths you never knew you had. Ultimately, challenging yourself isn't just about achieving specific goals, it's about building the mental and emotional resilience to handle whatever comes your way. It's about developing a mindset that embraces growth, sees challenges as opportunities, and continually seeks to become the best version of yourself. By choosing to challenge yourself, you're choosing a life of growth, purpose, and fulfillment. You're saying yes to progress and the incredible potential that lies within you. Living to thrive is about more than merely surviving or getting through life. It's about embracing the full potential of your existence and striving for a life that brings you joy, fulfillment, and growth. Too often, people settle for a life of complacency, reacting to circumstances rather than proactively shaping their own reality. Thriving is not a passive experience, but an active, deliberate choice to live with purpose, to take control of your destiny, and to continuously pursue the best version of yourself. It means choosing to rise above challenges, embracing opportunities, and living a life that reflects your deepest desires and values. Thriving begins with a mindset shift. It's about deciding that you are worthy of more than just getting by, that you are deserving of a life full of vitality, passion, and meaning. When you choose to thrive, you acknowledge that you have the power to create your own reality. This mindset doesn't mean ignoring obstacles or pretending everything is perfect. Rather, it means facing difficulties with resilience and viewing them as opportunities for growth. It's about focusing on what you can control, adjusting to what you can't, and taking bold steps toward your goals. Central to living to thrive is having a clear sense of purpose. Without purpose, life can feel aimless, and it's easy to slip into a routine that lacks direction. When you live with purpose, you wake up every day with intention, knowing what you want to achieve and why it matters. Purpose fuels your actions and decisions, aligning them with your core values and passions. It can come from many sources: pursuing your career goals, building meaningful relationships, making a difference in your community, or continually seeking personal growth. When you are driven by purpose, every challenge becomes an opportunity to fulfill your mission. Living to thrive also means investing in your well-being physically, mentally, and emotionally. Thriving is not just about achieving external success, it's about taking care of yourself holistically. This means nurturing your body with healthy habits such as regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and enough rest. It involves cultivating mental resilience through mindfulness practices, learning to manage stress, and staying positive in the face of adversity. Emotional well-being is equally important, and thriving requires emotional intelligence, understanding your emotions, expressing them constructively, and building strong, supportive relationships. Thriving is about feeling whole in every aspect of your life. One of the most powerful components of living to thrive is growth. To thrive means to constantly challenge yourself, to stretch beyond your current limitations, and to embrace the unknown. It's about seeing every experience, whether positive or negative, as an opportunity to learn and evolve. Every day is a chance to expand your mind, your skills, and your perspective. When you choose to grow, you move beyond your comfort zone, and in doing so, you unlock new levels of potential that you never thought possible. Living to thrive also involves embracing abundance, choosing to see the limitless possibilities in life rather than focusing on scarcity or limitations. It means choosing to live with gratitude, acknowledging the blessings in your life, and using what you have to create more. Thriving is about seeing the glass as half full, knowing that no matter how difficult life may get, there is always something to be grateful for, and always a way forward. Ultimately, living to thrive is about stepping into your full power and embracing life's richness. It's about living with intention, purpose, and joy, knowing that you are the creator of your life and that you deserve to thrive. Each day is an opportunity to take control, to grow, and to live in alignment with your deepest desires. When you choose to thrive, you choose to live a life that is not only successful but deeply fulfilling. A call to action is a powerful tool that encourages people to take immediate, decisive steps toward a goal or a cause. It's more than just a prompt, it's a rallying cry for action, urging individuals to move from passive thought into active behavior. Whether you're motivating yourself or others, a call to action serves as a catalyst for change. It's an invitation to stop waiting for the perfect moment and to start taking steps right now toward what matters most. The effectiveness of a call to action lies in its clarity and urgency. A great call to action is simple, direct, and compelling. It eliminates any ambiguity, making it clear what the next step is and why it's important. For example, instead of simply saying, "Think about your goals," a strong call to action would be, "Take one concrete step today to move closer to your goal." This type of directive encourages immediate action, rather than allowing the individual to remain in a state of contemplation or indecision. It provides a sense of direction and purpose, which is critical when striving for any type of success. Urgency is also crucial when making a call to action. People often put off important tasks because they don't feel a sense of immediate consequence. The right call to action creates a sense of urgency by reminding individuals that time is precious, and every moment wasted is an opportunity lost. It might sound like start now before the chance slips away or take control today. There's no better time than now. This urgency motivates people to act quickly and decisively rather than procrastinate or delay. A call to action also highlights the benefits of taking action. It's not just about pushing someone to act, it's about helping them see what they stand to gain from doing so. Whether it's achieving personal goals, contributing to a cause, or realizing a dream, a call to action should make the desired outcome vivid and enticing. It's about painting a picture of success and fulfillment that becomes irresistible. The clearer the rewards, the stronger the motivation to take action. However, a call to action is not only about external goals, it's also about internal transformation. When motivating others, especially in the context of personal growth, the call to action can focus on the transformation that comes from embracing new challenges or adopting a growth mindset. Encouraging people to step outside their comfort zones and take on challenges that will stretch their capabilities can ignite a deep sense of fulfillment and pride. For example, challenge yourself today and see how much stronger you can become. Conveys not only a task but also the internal rewards that come from taking on difficult but meaningful work. One of the most effective aspects of a call to action is the encouragement of accountability. It's not enough to simply say, "Go do it." The best calls to action also involve a commitment or a plan for follow-through. Whether it's setting a specific time, making a public declaration, or enlisting the support of a community, accountability ensures that the action is actually carried out. For example, set a time to take your first step and let someone know about it. Gives individuals both the motivation and the structure to act. Ultimately, a call to action is an invitation to change. It's a reminder that progress doesn't come from waiting, wishing, or hoping. It comes from taking deliberate, consistent action toward what we want to achieve. Whether it's a personal goal, a professional project, or a life-changing decision, the call to action is the spark that ignites the journey. So take a moment. Reflect on what matters most to you, and then act. The time for change is now, and you are ready.